Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Iron Port. Iron Port is proudly brought to you by Serene Insurance, Go PLC, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services Limited, and Phoenix Insurance. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Iron Port is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Now, this week, we are discussing how to empower the export-ready African woman under the Continental Free Trade Area. And we are in the studios some 3 individuals to do justice to this particular subject. Let's take a listen.
Let's move into women and take a look at what AfCFTA is doing, so to speak, to ensure women's full inclusion in continental trade protocols.
So women, I remember that at the last draft of, before the protocol on women and youth was adopted.
Right.
You always have to have a draft. So there was a consultative meeting that we had to validate the draft. They have to consult to find out what is your final view. We are now going to adopt it. It's going to be adopted at the AU level. But before, what are some of the technical? I recall I made one. If I should read, permit me to read some of the preambles.
Yes.
It says, very, very important. Now, it says, specific provisions of the protocol. It says, access to finance, information, and capacity building. Now, so when we met, I said that this preamble is not really watertight. Because you say two. You must make it an enshrined position. Say that every state party is supposed to commit a percentage or 2% or instruct that financial institutions are committed to finance women.
Yes.
If you put it there that state parties are mandated to create, it's the same policy kind of level, the same wishy.
Right.
But if you make it an enshrined clause that all financial institutions, all financial support institutions who are within state parties must ensure maybe 2% or 3% of this financial support goes for women and youth in trade.
Right.
This is what AfCFTA should do. So I made a point. I don't know whether the final one that came, but I've not seen it anyway. And then I also looked at the fact that in the area of, if you connect it to Ghana here, the affirmative action law.
Yeah.
Or the affirmative action law. I've gone through it.
Right.
I must say, I have not seen a serious watertight financial empowerment in that act, because it looked at so much of the social side, where women, gender equality, that's fine. But you see, any democratic dispensation that does not have the good standard of living of the people is not fully defined.
Right.
Meaning that, yes, the democratic credentials, we see, okay, involvement in elections, going to parliament, all those things are important. But the woman, the current day woman or an independent woman need to be financially sustainable.
Right.
And whichever angle they have to be financially sustainable, whether they're coming through the doors of entrepreneurship, coming through the doors of whatever it is, they must have a certain financial sustainability. I've not seen that in affirmative action law.
Right.
And maybe I will call for an early amendment, if there should be something like that, to amend it, to really look at it holistically.
All right, so let me come to Mr. Noviohoho and find out from you what your organization is all about. That's the, Women in Africa. No, that's the National Cross-Border Women Traders Association. What do you do?
Thank you very much. First of all, the National Cross-Border Women Traders Association has 3 key objectives.
Okay.
First of all, it's about crossing international borders. So within the ECOWAS region, we fall within the ECOWAS Protocol of Movement. That is the grand policy.
Right.
Now, within the AfCFTA aspect also, the AfCFTA policy on movement, it's also the mandate, the policy under which we go under.
Right.
So in dealing with that, no exports or trading would go without the human being himself.
Right.
Either the trader herself or the driver or the messenger would have to go either to inspect the goods, either to bring the goods, or others. So it means you need physical presence of some of these women. Now, the association, like I said, 3 main objectives. I've just spoken about one, which is the movement. And every border has rules and regulations.
Right.
Because, one, security issues and others. That is why when you look at the ECOWAS protocol, it brings down on what immigrations and all those things are supposed to be.
Right.
Then the key question is, who is a trader? Who is a woman trader? You need to first of all understand who is a woman trader to be able to fit into that policy.
Right.
If we are not able to do that, then we are missing. And this is what the cross-border women traders are doing.
Right.
You can have a woman trading from Kumasi to Accra. She's not crossing any international border.
Right.
She's not crossing any border, so she doesn't have any challenge. But as soon as she's crossing from Ghana to Togo, or Ghana to Burkina, or Ghana to Kenya,
Even
or
Nigeria,
Ghana to somewhere, or to Nigeria, then meaning he has to go by the rules.
Right.
So first of all, we look at movement. Then 2, the issue of customs, the issue of tariffs and non-tariff issues. Because when it comes to trading, we are talking about export. When it comes to exporting, there are rules and regulations that guide that industry also. What are the rules? How are the policy made? Is it helping the women? Is it helping us?
Right.
We are the revenue generators for this country. We pay the import duties. We pay all of this.
Right.
At the end of the day, it comes to our home. Okay? So how do we apply? How do we go by the rules? What is rules of origin? What is the custom procedures? What is the taxation issues? All this comes into that basket.
Right.
So we looked at the second objective, which is the custom rules, the issues about tariff and non-tariff, and what are the issues to look at. The non-tariff barriers are, to be frank, are very enormous.
Yes.
And these are the things a lot of people are not seeing. There are a lot of narrative out there, harassment and co. But on the ground, if you look at it critically, you need to understand what it means. Now, with that second objective, we need to also understand in context what are key agencies' role in that objective.
Okay.
If we understand that objective, then we are able to, and this is what Cross-Border Women is doing, to partner with agencies and development partners to see how best the woman inclusion in implementing these policies to be able to help the woman trade freely.
Yeah.
Because if these are not done well, if our input is not put there, we are not able to go.
All right, so let me come to Doc and find out from you what the Women of Africa Network is doing to support women entrepreneurs in terms of getting them to meet international standards.
So what we do is includes, for example, the conference we had.
Yes.
So we aggregate them, and then we bring experts to speak to issues that will empower them.
Right.
At our just ended conference, we were privileged to be partnered by EcoBank.
Right.
EcoBank has a platform, Elevate, that supports women financially and other services that are non-financial. And what Elevate represents align with what one seeks to give to women.
Right.
And so we create that platform and we bring experts on board to give them the requisite training that they need to be able to meet all expectations when they are ready to launch into the export market.
Yes.
Because we believe that it is not enough for the woman in trade to concentrate on the at the micro level and not scale up. It defeats the purpose of AfCFTA and then the protocol for women and youth.
Right.
What we do again is to hold webinars. The conference is just one of the things we do. We hold webinars and still train our women, empower them. We give them the shoulders to ride on because it is impossible for one individual to scale up all these obstacles and be ready for the export market. But if you have an association like one, you can ride on our shoulders and get there. Basically, we create that platform for them. And also, one has a bank, if I can use that, of expertise. As far as human resources are concerned, there are so many experts who are one members. We have lawyers, we have people who are in the export regime, we have bankers, we have people in academia, we have researchers, we have all these people. So they have experience that are available for our women to tap into. And so there is mentorship available for women to harness these things and then take advantage of. Now, let me also add that it's not every member of one who is into trade.
Okay.
So this is an opportunity for people to also give back to society to build our women up. So in the area of research, one has a directorate for women research. So everything we do is research-led, so that we will speak to the issues that need attention and not just anything.
Most ministries of trade have really not really built their trade classifications. They've not built it well. Secondly, you see, I talked about trade finance because you have to have a structured trade finance. When you have a structured trade finance, like Oscar was saying, it's not just about giving the money to the people. It is, when we talk about export readiness for trade finance, we are looking at the value chain of the export. I might not be the final exporter. Dr. Gladys might not be the final. She might be the one who goes for it from the source. Mr. Oscar will be the one who might be the final exporter. All these people are part of the export chain. And so when you're having a financial structure, it must meet all of them at every point. This is one of the things we have to build when you're looking at the informal sector. We always call informal sector. So if you look at the AfCFTA very critically, now they are coming up with what they call the after trading companies. You for once just take the name off after. They are kind of what we call the after trading companies, whereby they feel that, look, there are a lot of aggregators in certain sectors, in certain products. You have tomato sellers, you have ginger people, commodity traders. So after I say, now look, why don't we let these companies be together, have a common bargain when it comes to price margins?
With the issue of trade financing, we need the money. But you need to, first of all, understand the two objectives, how it will help us manage your money that you are giving us to trade. So if you don't know us, you don't understand us, and agree to these three objectives, then possibly you'll be going round and round like the policy analyst is saying, that is kind of a trend. So the whole issue is that, one, the National Cross-Border Women Traders Association, one, facilitates movement of its members across the borders. What we do is, before you become a member, you should first of all, prove to us that you are a trader. From a certain market. The market would guarantee, endorse you, for us to know that, yes, possibly you are from Agbogboshi. You are selling onion. Now, Cross-border women traders also are in two categories.
Okay.
One is the border resident, which is the 7-kilometer radius.
Right. That was going to be my next question, but
Yes,
Yeah,
because
yes.
first of all, the law governing border resident is key. The narrative about smuggling and border people help people to smuggle and all those things. In Kenya, they apply the rules of the border residents.
Right.
Now, border residents have certain exemptions and amenities that they enjoy as border residents. And non-border residents, let me give you an example. Port Health. You are within 7 kilometers of the border. You are not mandated to hold a yellow card before you cross the border. Because the law within that area, the 7 kilometers of that permits you. And also, an example in East Africa, there is even a rule and a threshold of certain quantity of goods that border residents can enjoy, which would not be import duty or taxed. Do you understand?
Right.
Now, from the border resident, you now come to the non-border resident woman trader.
Right.
She's either coming from After Elubo, or she's coming from Akachi, or she's coming from Agbozume, because it's out of the 7-kilometer radius.
Right.
So she also needs to be treated differently. You understand? Or she's coming from Accra.
Right.
She moves from Accra to Togo to go and buy.
Yeah.
If she's going, she's mandated to go through certain rules and regulations. She's supposed to comply with certain rules and regulations. If we don't understand this, and this is what we are doing, building the capacity for our women, letting them understand these are the rules, and supporting them in trying to overcome these hurdles and challenges.
Yes.
One is going to embark on rural entrepreneurship. That is formalization of businesses. We believe that every information that we have, the people in the marketplaces and villages are also supposed to get this information.
Right.
So get ready for us. We'll be coming to you to help you formalize your trade and get to the next level.
This is the right time to take a break. Iron Port returns after this break.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP will feel ya, huh? Will be feel. Goil, good energy. Yeah, yeah.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, streetlights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome to today's edition of Serene Insurance Business News. We present to you Serena.
You're right. You can complete an entire insurance process for the purchase of any motor and other insurance products, from onboarding to issuing a motor insurance sticker and policy certificate, all on WhatsApp in less than 10 minutes. Serena is simple to use and it prioritizes user ease and flexibility. You can either use voice notes or text to effortlessly issue your instant policy, cross-platform renewals, claims, and also process your payments through mobile money, Visa, and MasterCard. To engage Serena, just search for Serena Serene Insurance on all social media handles and scan the Serena barcode or save her number 0500 517 114 and start chatting her on WhatsApp immediately.
There you have it. Serena is not just a tool, it's an innovation by Serene Insurance designed to redefine how motor and travel insurance are accessed and managed. Speed, convenience, and reliability.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
At Phoenix Insurance, we make the unpredictable predictable and the uncertain certain with our range of products, including motor insurance, fire insurance, engineering insurance, marine insurance, accident insurances, and all types of bonds. We have you covered. We also support you with risk management advice to enable you stay focused on your business. Take a policy with Phoenix Insurance today. We help you rise from adversity stronger and more secure. Contact us on 0302 246319 or 0302 246644 or any of our branches, agencies, and brokers spread across the nation. You can also connect with us on our WhatsApp chatbot. Efiba is waiting to assist you. Make the future predictable with Phoenix Insurance. Phoenix Insurance, a delightful service experience delivered with wisdom.
It's now time for some important maritime news.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is deepening its commitment to gender inclusion and sustainable leadership development as 6 of its management-level female staff graduated from the 7th and 8th cohorts of the Female Future Program Ghana. The graduation ceremony, which took place during the 4th Annual Leadership Conference at the Alisa Hotel in Accra, brought together key voices from across Ghana's business landscape. A total of 94 women were awarded certificates as part of this year's graduation cohorts, 54 from cohort 7 and 40 from cohort 8. GPHA's participation reflects the authority's growing investment in female leadership as a strategic pillar in its sustainability framework, particularly within the highly technical and often male-dominated maritime sector. The Female Future Program Ghana is a flagship leadership and boardroom competency initiative established by the Ghana Employers Association in 2019 with support from the Confederation of Norwegian Enterprise. It is aimed at developing the next generation of female leaders through training, mentorship, and networking platforms that empower participants to take up senior leadership and governance roles. Since its inception, FFPGH has trained 275 women across both public and private sectors. The impact has been significant. 34 graduates have been appointed to boards and national committees, while 91 have moved into higher leadership roles within their institutions. In remarks at the ceremony, speakers underscored that empowering women is not just a gender initiative, but a strategic economic imperative.
The gender leadership gap solutions being offered by the GEA through the FFP cannot be complete without the profound support of employers who have nominated and continue to nominate their female talents to participate in the programs. Organizations with women in top positions can be up to 48% more profitable than those without.
We also believe that seeing companies whose management teams and owners reflect the diversity of our own population will serve as an inspiration to the next generation, particularly girls in the next generation.
The FFP-GH graduation also saw renewed commitments towards advancing female leadership beyond the classroom. An alumni network established in 2021 continues to provide a platform for graduates to collaborate, advocate, and lead transformation within their workplaces.
It's now time for some international port and maritime news.
Singapore-based shipping company Ocean Network Express 1 and Germany's Hamburg Port Authority have signed an agreement for future use of shore power supply for container ships. The Port of Hamburg has provided shore power for cruise and container ships since May 2024, intending to equip all container terminals with shore power supply systems by the end of 2025. Shore power facilities are already in operation at Eurogate Container Terminal Hamburg and HHLA Container Terminal Tollerot, while those at HHLA Container Terminal Budjant Kai and HHLA Container Terminal Altenwerder are currently being installed. The first practical test for the shore power facility at CTA was recently completed.
It's now time for the schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate you need to know to clear your goods from the port. It's now time for the phrase or word of the day segment.
Proof of delivery. Documentation signed by the receiver of goods to evidence the completion of the shipment of goods.
We have the health and safety tips next.
Conveyors. All dangerous parts of conveyor systems should be securely guarded. Enclosure of such parts also prevents the ingress of dust or other materials.
We have your comments next.
Linda from Ho says, thanks to Mr. Akaba for speaking for us. If the banks can work with groups like the Cross-Border Women Traders Association, many of us will be encouraged to borrow and grow. Akos from Kumasi says, Dr. Nkrumah's point on rural women needing packaging support is on point. We grow the ginger and shea butter, but can't export because we don't know the standards. Ohima from Tema says, good evening, Iron Port. Insightful discussion. We've got quite a long way to go as a country. Kudos to both organizations on your panel, the National Cross-Border Women Traders Association and APN, Women of African Network 1, for the great work. Special greetings to Oscar and Louis. Richard from Tema says, can EcoBank and other banks develop micro products tailored for women who trade across borders in small quantities? Many of them don't have collateral, but they are reliable.
Our partnership with EcoBank involves EcoBank giving our women collateral-free loans.
Yes.
And that we can assure you that once you are on our platform, you can get collateral-free loans.
So this is where we draw the curtain on this week's episode of Iron Port. Thank you for watching, and thanks to the entire crew. Join us same time next week, and also follow us on our various social media platforms on your screens.